Hey nigga, viewer discretion is advised. Hey guys, I am back with another story time. And I'm actually doing job applications right now, but I figured it'd be a good time for me to do a story time. Don't mind my hair. I'm at home. Fuck your gas, so I'm at home, fuck you. So, this is story time when I left. I was living in Savannah and I was staying with the aunt, and me and her, we were not meant to live together because we did not get along. Like, that's another story time. But yeah, I was staying with the aunt and I was unhappy and I wanted to leave. And I started talking to this guy, and he basically was like, yeah, you could come stay with me. Like, it ain't no big deal, whatever. Okay, so this is how it all started. We were both working at Pizza Hut. This was my first real job. I started working at Pizza Hut. He was the driver, I was the cashier. And my cousin was the manager, which is how I got the job. And I saw him, and when I first saw him, I liked him because of his walk. I thought his walk was very, very sexy. So I was like, ooh, who was that? Ooh. He was like real tall, and like he was cute. He was my type. He was tall, he was skinny, so we started like talking as friends at first, and that's when he started telling me about his life. I started telling him about mine and my aunt and how unhappy I was. And we just slowly progressed into a romantic relationship. And I remember, but we used to be kind of like on and off, because the first incident, he asked me for money. He asked me for gas money for his car, and at first I was kind of like, no. And I told him, I was like, nah, I can't help you. He was like, well, that's kind of fucked up, because he used to give me rides from work every night. But I told him no, because I thought that was kind of like a turnoff, like a guy asking me for money. So I was like, nah, I don't got it. And he was like, well, that's kind of fucked up. So after that, we kind of made up, whatever. And then we got into a romantic relationship pretty, like, kind of fast after that. So now we're together. And yeah, me and my auntie, like, shit just kept getting worse. It kept getting worse. And so one day I was like, yeah, let's go out on a date. And he took me out on a date. This was another bad sign. When he took me out, he was on his phone the whole time. Like, he was on his phone the whole time for the date. The whole exact time. And so I ended up having to take his phone and put it under my leg just so he wouldn't be on it the whole time. And he took me to Applebee's. And yeah. So he ended up, I'm not gonna say it. So after that night, it just, me and my aunt, it just kept getting worse. And so I would tell him about it. Every time it would get worse, I would tell him about it. He was like, well, you can come stay with me. Like, it's whatever. Like, you can come stay with me. And so I was like, cool. So how I did it was, I didn't tell my aunt I was leaving. What I did, I packed my stuff very secretively. And I ripped the sheets off the bed, and I just cleared the whole room. It was like empty. The drawers were empty. The closet was like, my clothes was gone. Like, I cleared out the whole room, and I snuck, and I rushed my stuff into his trunk. Like how it was, we were like running. I would throw him a bag. He would like, hurry up, put it in the trunk. I would put him in the bag. He would like, hurry up, throw it in the trunk, and we ran, got in the car. But now you might be thinking, why did I do that? That lady was fucking crazy. Okay, so I felt like that was my only way out, was to like sneaky and just get the fuck out of there. So I did that, and we moved in together, and the first 2 months was like amazing. Like, it was great. We got along, everything was fine. And then it slowly started to turn, because he started going out a lot, and he started to get around the wrong people, like bad influences. And I would see it, and I'd be like, yo, I don't think you should really like hang with him. And that's when our relationship started to get bad, because he started to feel like I was being controlling And I was trying to tell him what to do, and he would be like, "Oh, I'm grown. Like, I can do what I want. Like, I can hang out with who I want. I'm grown. You're not my mom." And so him going out, it was like first he would go out for like a couple hours, like 2, 3. Then it started like the whole night. Like he wouldn't come home till like 3 o'clock in the morning. And what I did was, he was big on Snapchat. So what I did, I created a fake page and I would watch his Snapchat to see what he was doing. And he was actually going to strip clubs and being all up on like these stripper girls and all stuff like that. And he would come home to me and have sex with me afterwards. What the fuck? So he didn't know I was watching him on Snapchat, but I was. And so after that, the sex started to decline. Like first we were having sex a lot, and then it became like he didn't even want to touch me. Like I would be like trying to like be affectionate with him, and he would be like, "Ew, get off of me! Like get off of me! Don't touch me!" Like it was like so weird. Like he wasn't like that at first, and then after he started going out a lot, after he started being around these other people, he wasn't sexually attracted to me anymore. Like we was like, at first it started, we were having sex. I would initiate it all the time. Then it was like he wouldn't even let me touch him. Oh. So that was hurtful. I used to cry about that a lot. And then the next thing was, where he stayed, it wasn't his house, it was a dorm room. So whenever I would be in there talking, or like just like, you know what I'm saying, like having conversation like I'm talking to you, he'd be like, "Hush, like you being too loud, like you gonna get me caught." Like I couldn't talk too loud in the room. I couldn't leave the room ever if he wasn't there. So when he would leave, he would like close, like I would be basically locked in the room all day until he got back. If I had to use the bathroom, he would either go in there with me, or he would like check the bathroom after to make sure it looked like I wasn't even there. Like he was very paranoid about getting caught, which he never got caught with me. And he was just really like, "Don't talk too loud." You know what I'm saying? I had to always stay in the room. Like I said, I would always stay in the room. I was just in a cage, basically. So that was like another thing that was like heartbreaking, because I had a job, but I was like working and I had to go straight into the room. And how I would get snuck on the campus, he would have to put me in his trunk and sneak me on to the campsite. And when he would get to the room, he would open the trunk and I would get out, and I would have to hurry up and get in the house before anybody could see me. Like it was really like some, like now that I think, it was very unnecessary, because it didn't even have to be like that. So, but I thank him for letting me stay. It's just, he was crazy. So, yeah, the sex declined. And then one time he was on his phone, and it was some dude sending him selfies, and with his shirt off. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, is this nigga gay? Like, it was some guy, he was texting some guy, and he was sending the guy, like, the guy was sending him pictures, but the guy ain't had no shirt on. So I was like, what is this? And so I just brushed it off, whatever. And then he would be on the phone, and then I'll be like, he would go downstairs to go talk on the phone, and then he'll come back up. I'd be like, "Who was that?" And then he'll be like, "One of his homeboys." And so I was like, that, I knew he was lying about that too. So one night, he used to take me to and from work. And so one night I was like, "Can you come pick me up from work?" And then he just wasn't answering. He just wasn't responding. He wasn't texting me back. Like he just went ghost. And what ended up happening is he ended up leaving me there all night. And I had to call another family member to come get me, and I had to end up staying with them because he basically abandoned me. Like, that's how we broke up. Like, it went from him being lovey-dovey affectionate to him just not giving a fuck about me at all anymore, and then one day just leaving me stranded at my job. And I cried. Like, I was so heartbroken. I was so heartbroken. I'm still mad about that shit. Still to this day, because it's like, why the fuck did you do me like that? You know? And yeah, that's the story time. So I basically left my aunt's house to go live with a dude who ended up treating me even worse than my fucking auntie did. Like, it was bad. But the sex was trash though. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, his sex was, it wasn't that good, but he was the only person I was having sex with. So that's why I was like, you want to have sex with your boyfriend, and he ain't even trying to have sex with you, because he out fucking the other bitches or men And yeah, it was just bad. It was a bad. If I knew he was like, I just wish I would have known. It's like I should have got to know him a little bit more before I moved in with him. But yeah, that's my story time. The time I moved in with this guy, and he ended up leaving me. Like, oh, this is another thing. Whenever he got drunk, that's when he would tell me how he felt about me. Like, he would be like, oh, I'm single. Like, I'm not trying to do no relationship shit with you. Like, I'm good. But then when he would get sober and I would talk to him about it, he would be like, oh, I didn't say that. Oh, I don't remember that. No, I didn't say that. I don't remember. So it would be like whenever he got drunk, oh, he would let a bitch know that he did not fuck with me. But when he got sober and I would be like, remember you said that? He'd be like, I never said that. I never said that at all. I never said that. I never said that. So yeah, that's my story time. Living on camp with some guy who fucking hated me. I don't know. I think he's gay. Cause why would some guy be sending you selfies with no shirt on? Like, oh, at one time he said he was going to the gym. No, not to the gym. He was going to play basketball. And when he came back, he wasn't even sweaty. You know what he smelled like? He smelled like another man. He smelled like another man. He was clean. He smelled like like a newborn baby. He wasn't sweaty. He wasn't stank. He wasn't dirty. Then he came back smelling fresh as fuck and smelling like a different it was cologne that he never wore that type of cologne. Then nigga came back smelling like another man. I was so heartbroken. I'm like, why does he smell like that? Why does he smell like another man? But yeah, that's my story time. And yeah, after I left, we talked a little bit off and on after that, but we never moved back in with each other. We never got back together. We were just kind of like friends after that. But yeah. Bye.